Shalom, shalom, shalom. I hope everybody's doing well. Thank you for tuning in with To Be Better. Always study to show yourself approved to the Most High YAH. Be strong. We're walking with the Most High YAH. We're walking with Yahushua HaMashiach. I hopped on here today because there's a lot of spiritual battles that we have to go through. And sometimes we have to narrow down what we're fighting against. And when we go to scriptures, say Ephesians 6 and 12, well, we'll say 6:11 to 6 and 12, where it is written, as you put on the whole armor of Yahweh, that you may be able to stand against the wiles of the devil. For we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against principalities, against powers, against the rulers of darkness of this world, against spiritual wickedness in high places. That lets us know that in this walk, as we continue to try to walk in perfection, as we continue to walk in accordance with the Torah, that we will have attacks come our way. Sometimes we can't discern them, sometimes we can, but we have to be able to recognize what we're fighting against. So I hopped on here because I wanted to talk about one of the spiritual battles that some of us be going through. For example, a monitoring spirit. Now, you may ask, what is a monitoring spirit? A monitoring spirit is a spiritual being that operates in the supernatural realm with the not-so-friendly task of observing and monitoring the lives of individuals. Their main goal is to gather information, take notes, and report back to the forces of darkness, seeking any vulnerability that can exploit in our lives, that could be exploited in our lives. And sometimes these things cannot be recognized. Now, these spirits often go unnoticed for long periods of time as they operate covertly in the background of our personal lives. And however, those who are sensitive to spiritual energies or have heightened awareness of their environments may begin to pick up on certain signs. These signs, if correctly identified, can help individuals take actions against monitoring spirits. Monitoring spirits can target you or target people by whether it's by spiritual, emotional, or situational factors. So, like when you come into the truth, you have a spiritual growth. Now, when you receive a spiritual growth, an advancement in your spirituality, you can come under attack under these monitoring spirits that seek to derail that progress in your walk with the Most High YAH and with Yahushua HaMashiach. You can also attack you by emotional vulnerability. These where individuals who are going through difficult emotional times may emit energy that attracts monitoring spirits, curses, or hexes. Some people may believe that monitoring spirits are sent as a part of a curse or a hex to observe or cause misfortune. So if you've been around people that you know that practice witchcraft, sorcery, voodoo, or whatever, you know, sometimes you don't know if they've taken a piece of your hair, taken something that's precious to you, put a curse on you, where they're observing every part of your life, whether it's in business, whether it's in fitness, whether it's health goals or whatever. You're being monitored, you're being watched, you're being reported on. Sometimes it can be energy manipulation, where certain spiritual traditions suggest that these spirits gather energy from people they monitor and drain them vitality, which you're trying to figure out, like, why am I so tired all of a sudden? I had all this energy and now I don't have any more. What's going on here? Now, there are ways to figure out whether there's a monitoring spirit around you, your children, your family, relatives, co-workers, people at church, or within your congregation. There are ways to figure it out. Now, there are key signs now that we have to establish what monitoring spirits are and why they might be targeting individuals. Let's look at it a little more. These key indicators can help you recognize when you are being monitored by these entities, like unexplained sensations of being watched. One of the most common signs of monitoring spirits is the persistent feeling of being watched. This sensation is often described as heavy, oppressive presence in a room, even when you're alone. It's not the same as a regular paranoia. Instead, it feels invasive, as though someone is always observing your every move. And it can be done with technology, where, people got ATMs, not ATMs, but, you got cameras all over your house. You have this, you have that. Any source can be used as a way to watch you. Use of energy, so on and so on. Another way is sudden or frequent discomfort in places that you're familiar with, because monitoring spirits can disrupt the energy in spaces that are normally comfortable. If you suddenly feel uneasy or experience discomfort in places you usually enjoy, such as like your bedroom, your living room, or even at your office, this could be a sign of a monitoring spirit in presence. These spirits can alter the atmosphere, making formerly welcome spaces feel threatened. Disruption in technology and communication devices. A sign of a monitoring spirit that is often overlooked is frequent disruption in technology. This could include phones malfunctioning, Wi-Fi signals dropping, or electronics turning on and off without explanation. Since monitoring spirits are often connected to energy manipulation, they may interfere with electrical systems as they observe you. Have you noticed anything like that in your life? Think about it. Repetitive negative dreams or nightmares attacking you while you're asleep. Monitoring spirits can influence your subconscious mind, leading to repetitive nightmares or unsettling dreams. If you constantly dream about being watched, pursued, or manipulated, it may be a reflection of the spiritual monitoring taking place in your waking life. Pay close attention to recurring themes in your dreams, as they can offer clues. Hearing unfamiliar voices or whispers. Another key sign of a monitoring spirit is hearing disembodied voices, whispers, or even your name being called when no one is around. This auditory phenomenon can be subtle, often manifesting as indistinct murmurs. If you hear these sounds repeatedly and can't explain their source, it may be a signal that a spirit is monitoring you. Unusual movements of objects or shadows. Seeing objects move or their own, or notice strange shadows in your peripheral vision can indicate the presence of a monitoring spirit. While this could be mistaken for poltergeist activities, monitoring spirits may make their presence known in more subtle, almost playful ways, such as shifting objects slightly or creating unexplained movements in the room. Consistent feelings of oppression or fatigue. Being monitored by spirits can drain a person both emotionally and physically. If you find yourself feeling constantly tired, lethargic, or overwhelmed, especially in specific environments, it could be a result of energy depletion caused by a monitoring spirit. The constant pressure of being watched can leave you feeling emotionally drained, spiritually exhausted. A sudden increase in conflicts or misunderstanding. Monitoring spirits are believed to show discord and confusion in your personal relationship. If you've noticed a sudden increase in misunderstandings, arguments, or tension with your friends, families, or co-workers, a monitoring spirit can be stirring up negative energy around you. These entities thrive on chaos and may intentionally create friction in your life. Persistent paranormal activities. Monitoring spirits can sometimes cause more overt paranormal activities, including unexplained noises, objects moving, or even visible apparitions. If you've experienced several unexplainable events in a short period, this could be a strong indicator that monitoring spirits is present. Strange occurrences linked to personal or spiritual milestones. When you reach certain goals, when you accomplish something. Finally, if you've noticed strange occurrences that coincide with major personal or spiritual milestones, such as a promotion, marriage, spiritual breakthrough, this can be a sign that the monitoring spirit are trying to hinder your progress. These entities often become more active when significant positive changes are occurring in your life. Now, there are ways in which you can protect yourself. Of course, getting closer to the Most High YAH, getting in that Torah, because the Torah is life. Now we covered around about 10 key signs of monitoring spirit. The next thing is to understand how to protect yourself. While monitoring spirits can be intimidating, there are several steps you can take to reclaim your space and protect your spiritual well-being. Seek the Most High on how to cleanse your space, cleanse your home, cleanse your workspace in the office. What does the Torah say in how to create an oil so that you can have it anointed by the Most High YAH and cleanse the area that you're in? Prayer and meditation. Engaging in regular prayer or meditation can strengthen your spiritual defense. Many believe that monitoring spirits cannot stay in the presence of a high vibrational positive energy. And when you're married, you do it together. Don't try to do it alone, do it together. Because if the monitoring spirit is on one, it would try to go to the other to stay in the place, to attack the one that was going for it first. So pray together. Become one. Set boundaries. Verbally stating your intent and setting clear spiritual boundaries can also deter monitoring spirits. You can say something like, I do not consent to being watched or monitored. Leave my space. I command you in the mighty name of Yahushua HaMashiach, by the authority of Yahweh HaMashiach, by the authority of Yahweh Shavuot, you have no place or dwelling in my home, in my workplace, so on and so on, by his name. Cast them out to the place, the pit of hell, to Sheol. because the Most High gave you that authority. Seek spiritual guidance if you don't understand on how to go and attack this monitoring spirit, or if you cannot recognize it. If you feel overwhelmed by the presence of a monitoring spirit, seeking help from a trusted spiritual advisor, healer, or can provide additional protection and guidance. Now, there are ways to recognize when you're no longer being monitored. It is important to recognize when the threat of the monitoring spirit has passed. Once you've successfully taken steps of rid your space of their influence, you should notice a sense of peace returning to your environment. No more feeling of being watched or followed. Improved energy levels and mood, technology devices functioning normally, and reduced paranormal activity or no paranormal activity at all. Because if there's a continual paranormal activity, there's another spiritual battle that you're going to have to go into. Now, once these positive changes occur, is a good sign that the monitoring spirit have moved on and your space is protected. Now, taking control of your spiritual well-being. Monitoring spirits seem like a frightening concept, but understanding the signs of their presence and knowing how to protect yourself can go a long way in reclaiming your peace of mind by staying spiritually aware. Taking proactive steps, you can safeguard your energy, your environment from unwanted attention. Safeguard your soul, your body, your temple. Safeguard the ruach that's within you. Always remember, spiritual protection is an ongoing process. Keep your space clear. Keep your temple clear. Stay grounded in your spiritual practice. Most importantly, trust your instinct. Trust the Torah, trust Yahushua HaMashiach, trust Yahweh. If you feel like you're being watched, it's always worth taking action to protect your energy, to protect your temple, protect your family, to protect yourself from the potential presence of monitoring spirits. In this walk, there's constant spiritual warfare, and monitoring spirits is just one of them. Sometimes we have to pray and ask the Most High what spiritual battle that we're going through at this time. Who, what, ask for the name of the spirit that is attacking you so that you are aware, you can arm yourself on how to fight against them. Now, understand, for people who may not have an understanding of these spiritual battles now, that we are fighting against principalities and power. And in order to fight, like it says in 1 Kepha 5:8 or 1 Peter, be sober, be vigilant, because your adversary, the devil, as a roaring lion, walks about seeking whom he may devour. He will use anything he can to try to take you down. And remember in Job, as the adversary spoke to the Most High YAH, as Yahweh said unto Satan, from whence come you? Then Satan answered Yahweh, saying, from going to and from in the earth, from walking up and down in it. And Yahweh said unto Satan, have you considered my servant Job, that there is none like him in the earth, a perfect and upright man, one that fears Elohim and eschews evil? I said that verse because it lets you know that the adversary goes around. Although Job was perfect, he saw an opportunity to attack someone that loved the Most High. And you are someone that loves the Most High, and he will seek the opportunity to attack you. Don't think that once you get on this walk in truth that you won't be attacked, because there's always trials and tribulations that one must go through. But when we stay within the Torah, we have a weapon of defense. For in 2 Timothy, for Elohim has not given us the Ruach for fear, but of power and of love and of a sound mind. Sometimes we have to pray for discernment so that we can recognize and sense the evil, the presence of these evil spirits, the dangers that come about. Because sometimes we can be lacking. I know I've been lacking myself in the discernment, but it's good to have people around you that have that discernment so they can pick it up themselves. But as the scripture says in Hebrews 5:14, but strong food belongs to them that are of full age, even those who by reason of use have their senses exercised to discern both good and evil. That's how we have to be strong within the Torah so that we can recognize these things as good as evil. As in Yochanan 10:7, John 10:27, my sheep hear my voice, and I know them, and they follow me. As you strengthen yourself in the walk by including the Torah in your life, as you act upon doing the Torah, your power increases in the ways of the Most High, where you are able to defeat these attacks. Because we have to continue to strengthen our foundation with Yah. For in Psalm 63:1, Tehillim, O Elohim, you are my El. Early will I seek you. My soul thirsts for you. My flesh longs for you in a dry and thirsty land, there where no water is. And also in 2 Corinthians 7:1, having therefore these promises, dearly beloved, let us cleanse ourselves from all filthiness of the flesh and ruach, perfecting holiness in the fear of Yahweh. Shalom. Regularly.